Hello, everybody. How are you? Thank you very much for joining us today to this live presentation of Silestone's, the Silestone new collection, Sunlit Days. I'm in Dublin today, and we have a gorgeous, sunny and warm day, which is excellent for the presentation of this new collection, Sunlit Days. It's a perfect match because Silestone Sunlit Days is a collection inspired by the Mediterranean color shades, going back to the places where Cosentino is based, the south of Spain, which is full of color, wonderful stories, and each one of these colors, the colors of this collection, has a beautiful story behind it. Sunlit Days is also a collection that is revolutionizing the world of interior surfaces because it's the first collection which is carbon neutral and it's the first collection carbon neutral by Silestone. 100% committed to the environment to reduce the offset of the emissions of the manufacturing process with reforestation projects. To chat more about this, we have today two very special people who will share with you all the information about this collection, the stories behind each color, and the different applications you can have with these new Silestone colors. Hosting this event is Sean Nixon, General Manager for Cosentino Ireland.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Sean. And our special guest today is Denise O'Connor from Optimize Design and Optimize Home. Denise is an architect and interior designer with over 15 years of experience in the residential sector, both here in Ireland and in the UK. So Sean, Denise, it's all over to you.
Thanks, Ethan. And thanks, Denise. Thank you for joining us today. So very exciting to present this new collection. As Ethan said, it has amazing environmental qualities and the first carbon neutral range of Silestone, which is great to have. And listen, I look forward to presenting the colours as we go through each one, Denise. Each one comes with its own kind of background story with amazing people behind each colour that translates into different lifestyles and the way people live. And if people are so inclined, they can go and watch all of those marketing videos on YouTube. But we'll touch on each one and we'll see how it goes, you know. But thanks for joining us, Denise.
Oh, no, my pleasure. My pleasure, Sean. Thank you.
Good stuff. So I suppose, listen, the first place to begin is probably with a brief explanation on what is Hybrid, you know. So Hybrid is essentially a new technology that Cosentino have created to make everything more sustainable, you know. Hybrid is Cosentino's response to society's demands for more sustainability from products, more responsibility from their brands. It creates a more sustainable future for the industry and our trade partners, you know. It's made with a very eco-friendly process. 98% of the water is recycled and 100% of the energy is renewable. Cosentino at the minute are putting in the largest solar farm in Spain and really getting behind protection of the environment going forwards. And all of our Hybrid slabs have a minimum of 20% of recycled materials, even to the point that we're actually taking waste streams from other companies back into Cosentino to use them as raw materials and keep that waste away from landfill, which I think is a very noble thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
All of these actions are all behind the United Nations strategy towards environmental responsibility and the effort to try and reduce greenhouse gases. So that's the plan behind it, you know. I think we were just talking before we began, just off camera, Denise, about how the requirement is to provide those materials. Is it important to an architect, maybe at design stage, to specify environmentally friendly materials on a project for eco credentials of the building itself or the project itself?
Definitely, Sean. No, it's something that's becoming much more, you know, important. Even I'm finding with, say, homeowners. Obviously, on the larger commercial projects, there are requirements, but with homeowners now, this is definitely something that they're asking about. Okay. Everything from furniture right down through to the finishes. You know, trying to look for things that are more sustainable and just better for the environment, really.
Okay, very good. Well, Sunlit Days for us is a world first. It's the first carbon neutral collection across the entire quartz surfaces and engineered stone industry. So it's a world first, you know. As I said, Cosentino is committed to offsetting CO2 emissions for the entire life cycle of the Sunlit Days series. This initiative is complemented by partnership programs. One is for preservation of the seabed, and another is for preservation of forestry, you know. So Silestone Sunlit Days is a collection that is absolutely committed to the environment, and all our marketing tools, all our marketing materials, everything related to the launch of Sunlit Days is all 100% recyclable and biodegradable.
Amazing, yeah.
So we're trying to do what we say, you know. So without further hesitation, Sunlit Days is here. So Sunlit Days is a collection of 5 colours inspired by the Mediterranean, a connection with nature, and above all, colour. So an ode to life and days bathed in the sun. So it's our first zero carbon footprint, and it sponsors 2 projects, as I said, one for preservation of the seabed and the other for reforestation of ecosystems. And with each colour, we have a human story behind each, and we have some gorgeous room settings to look at. So the first colour to look at, Denise, is Cala Blue. Cala meaning cove blue, so akin to the sea. So it's a blue reminiscent of sea salt, and talking about the Mediterranean and the sea, it's a deep, sophisticated blue colour that vibrates with the rest of the elements in the room.
No, it's beautiful, and I love this shade. I think, you know, I think the whole collection, what is so beautiful about it is that the colours are brave and bold. They're a little bit different, but at the same time, they're very natural, you know, they're very timeless. And this, for me, it's like a breath of fresh air. I think over the last 15 months, you know, we've all had the opportunity to pause, to see the benefits of slowing down. There's no way we would have been able to do it without what's after happening, and of pausing. And I think this colour, you know, blue is so calming. It's really tranquil. It has so many beautiful applications, you know, from bathrooms, shower enclosures. And sort of what's exciting for me about the whole collection actually is that it sort of encourages you to think beyond the kitchen, which is where we're really used to using Silestone as designers. Exactly. So, you know, huge amount of opportunity to use it throughout any interior, really. It's a really beautiful, timeless shade.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, certainly in the last probably 18 months, people have a lot more time to be looking at their home and evaluating really what they want. Going for a walk on the beach, or everybody seems to be sea swimming at the minute, so it's the latest trend. So definitely they've had more time to get a bit braver, maybe with some nice new brave colours, you know.
No, definitely, yeah. No, it's gorgeous, gorgeous colour.
The next colour to look at is Posidonia green. So this is a green that breathes life, a natural green where time stands still. A green that captivates the eye, both metaphorically and actually, and will fill the seabed with life. Posidonia is an ecosystem, and it's the treasure of the Mediterranean Sea. And again, it's hand in hand with our Cala Blue and our Posidonia green being our ocean colours.
Yeah, and again, you know, like the blue, this is such a beautiful, fresh, gorgeous colour. Like you said there, Sean, you know, it does kind of evoke the idea of new life, new beginnings, which I think everybody's looking for now, sort of a fresh start, move forward. And I think the other thing that's happened over the last while is that people have sort of, you know, seen the benefits of decluttering, of clearing out their space, and sort of looking for a more pared back interior. And that's what the green sort of does, that in a fresh way, without it feeling sparse, without it feeling minimal, you know. So rather than going for those stark whites, you're bringing in color. So it really is, it's just such a lovely, lovely introduction to any space in the home. And again, beautiful in a bathroom, or here like in a kitchen countertop. Lovely way to just reverse what we're used to seeing, which would be the kind of white countertop with maybe a green cabinet. Just turn it on its head and you've got a completely different look. Really lovely.
Yeah, I mean, even from my point of view, it's a lovely splash of colour to bring into the Silestone collection. We all know white countertops are the thing, you know, but it's nice to have some contrast here. As I said, even for other rooms within the home, if it is the bathroom or a utility room or somewhere else, but it's great to have those options available.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
So I suppose with these ocean colours, Cosentino has created a partnership to save the Mediterranean Sea. So we've collaborated with an NGO, a non-government organisation, a company called Equilibrio Marino, and that's not easy to pronounce. But basically they carry out vital work of cleaning and collecting plastics and old fishing nets and tools that were abandoned on the ocean reefs and the seabeds, the beaches and the coasts. So we've named two of our Sunlit Days colour Cala Blue, which means cove blue, and Posidonia green. And if we all remember our mythology, Poseidon was the god of the sea, you know. So if we want to save the Mediterranean, we need to start by saving the fragile and magical balance that lives beneath the waves. So let's have a look at the great work that Equilibrio Marino are doing in partnership with Cosentino.
I have been told that there is a sea which is the envy of all the seas. It is a sea full of life, the gateway to the Atlantic Ocean. It is a sea where dolphins play close to the shore, and schools of fish with 1,000 colors sway with the currents. It is a sea with coral reefs full of life, with Posidonia meadows that fill it with oxygen. I have been told that this sea bathes a coast blessed by the sun. A sun that gives life to the people who live in there. A sea that embraces everyone with its light, its salt, and its joy, catching them and teaching them to live differently, more slowly, enjoying what really matters. I have been told that sea is called Mediterranean, and that land, Andalusia, that the sun paints sunsets in 1,000 colors and never rises or sets in the same way. I have also been told that this life, this treasure, depends on its sea, and that if its sea dies, so will that unique way of life. That the life of this land depends on the balance of its ecosystem, and that this balance is beginning to break down. That plastic is everywhere, that sea temperatures are rising and suffocating corals, that Posidonia meadows are disappearing, that fish are dying because of intensive fishing and are now being farmed. But I have also been told that if we unite and start acting, we will be legion, and we will cause small sparks that will lead to big changes. That if we stop using plastic for everything and start consuming consciously, we will not lose our wealth. I have been told that there are brave people like Fernando, who left a comfortable life in Madrid to create Equilibrio Marino, an NGO committed to saving our seas. Like Marina, who in honor of her name joined him to save the coral reefs. That these heroes go out every day to clean the sea in their boat, the Alboran Sea. That some organizations realized that they could not do it alone and joined them. That together we will save the Mediterranean, its richness and its ecosystem, its light, its breeze and its life. That balance is possible.
So there we go, some great work being done by those guys there.
No, it's fabulous, really, really lovely.
We've probably all seen the Seaspiracy documentary on Netflix, and when you see the plastics and the discarded fishing nets just washing around in the ocean, to see a company like that going out there and actually just taking all that man-made destruction out of the ocean, it gives us hope for the future.
No, really inspiring. It's great.
Those guys are actually on Instagram as well. You can follow them online, Equilibrio Marino, and they're actually replanting coral beds in areas where the coral has died away. So very positive stuff.
Fabulous.
So the next colour we're going to look at, Denise, is Faro White. So a white that brings light to the Mediterranean. The one that clads the walls where the sun bathes every day. Faro White is inspired by the lighthouses that mark the way for ships, and it will fill your space with light and life.
Yeah, well, Sean, this is really lovely. I suppose this one has so many applications. You know, a white is just something that's so elegant, so timeless, and I think the lovely warmth to this white There's a real richness to it. So it's not at all clinical. It's not cold. It's really, really inviting shade. And even, you know, you can see there the way the light plays with it. It's a really, really beautiful material, beautiful texture. So many different options to use this in the home. And I think the whole idea, again, of trying to create a calm space, a serene space, this is absolutely perfect for that. And then allowing you to layer in anything, you know, the world is your oyster. So it really puts your own stamp on your interior when you're using something like this as your base palette. So it's a gorgeous, gorgeous shade. Beautiful.
And the Sunlit collection is all available in suede finish, so it's not available in polished. And I suppose that means that even it's more tactile and it's kind of silky to the touch. So it is a warm material, you know.
Yeah, really good.
The video behind the white color is about a lighthouse keeper called Mario. So Mario was the last lighthouse keeper because, you know, even when Mario is finished and he retires, the likelihood is that the lighthouse will become automated and he'll be the last lighthouse keeper. So he's a relic of a bygone era, you know. But all those videos are available, as I said, on the Cosentino channel on YouTube.
Great.
So the next color we're going to look at is cincel gray, which essentially means chisel gray, you know. So the video behind that is about a guy making guitars in Spain and using his chisel to shape the wood. But gray is not just gray. People would not say wood is just wood, but chisel gray is a silky, fine-veined gray with lots of nuances.
Yeah, this is gorgeous, Sean. And I mean, it's so funny, you know, I get asked so many times, is grey on the way out? And it just isn't. I think you said it there, grey isn't just grey. There's so many layers to grey. And this in particular, again, is another gorgeous neutral. So a little bit like the white, has so many different options, so many applications. It's got really natural sort of feel. So it's very evocative of a natural stone, a natural material. And again, feeds into that sort of desire from all of us, I think, to introduce more natural materials into the home, things that are tactile. So, you know, it works beautifully with raw timbers, even with metals, with glass, you name it. This is a huge amount of opportunity for use in any kind of interior, and sort of feeds into as well that sort of appreciation of nature that we've all had over the last 15 months, you know, that
sure, yeah.
slowed down, we heard the birds singing, you know, nature was our escape. So there's that desire to bring more natural materials into the interior. This is a beautiful color to try and achieve that.
Fantastic. Yep. So the video behind this and the story behind this is about, as I said, David, a guitar maker from Andalusia, and they call him the soul shaper. So like that, I think the grey is a timeless palette, and I think we could probably say it across all of the colours, Denise, in the Sunlit collection. But the ability to pair them with all the natural materials and different metals and glass and items like that, they really will go with anything, you know.
Yeah, beautiful.
So the next colour is Archilla Red. So there is a land that breathes fire and which blood seems to flow, a land that is full of, that is pure and full of life. A terracotta soil with an intimate red that displays intoxicating tones of warmth, life and joy, and an earthy red shade that tastes like wine.
Amazing, such evocative language. You know, it's gorgeous, but I think this is really the flip side to all of those bright and fresh colors, you know. So this is the other side where there's a desire to create interiors which are kind of comforting or warm or inviting, really cozy, almost like hibernating away from everything. So your home is your shelter, really. And yeah, you know, the introduction of lovely raw materials, of natural, untreated, undyed materials. So that's for me what this really evokes. And I think it also feeds into the fact that people are being a little braver in their choices. They want to put their own stamp on their interiors. So, you know, perhaps this will appeal to people that it is something totally different. And I think as well, this is really the colour where, for me, it sort of pushes the boundaries a bit and makes you think, well, where else could I use it? You know, it's such a fabulous shade. Maybe you could use it in furniture or in built-in joinery units or things like that, as well as, you know, the more obvious applications in vanities, kitchens and things like that. So real scope to kind of think outside the box a little bit and have some fun, I think, which is what we all want at the moment, to be honest.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, there's a bit of a brave tendency there with some customers that they kind of go, you know what, I could do this house in beige and it will be appealing to everybody, but actually this is my home and I want to choose materials I like, and that's where this kind of a gorgeous thread comes in, you know.
Definitely. No. And that's it. It's so important for people to be able to bring their own personality out in their homes. And this is definitely a colour that will do that for some people. So very exciting. It's great.
Good stuff. And then there's the story behind that again. As we said, all these have stories of people. The story behind the Arquitectura Red is of Robert and Maria Del Mar living in Sierra Nevada, and the red terracotta soil, the red wine that they grow and cultivate on the farm. So it's a story of love and wine.
Brilliant. Great.
So I suppose, listen, that brings us on to Denise, to an Irish exclusive, because we've gone and reinvented Silestone, and it's got a whole new fresh marketing campaign behind it, never before viewed in Ireland. So the new brand brings with it a new brand universe for Silestone, new messages and a new tone. It's all about people, homes, they're all changing. Design is becoming a global trend, not a local trend anymore. And we know that sustainability is a must. It's more modern and more young, very people-centric, and it gives Silestone new brand values and new logo colours and a new identity. So we have a fantastic video to have a look at with the new Silestone brand.
Fantastic. Great.
we go, Denise. That's the new Silestone branding campaign for the next foreseeable future.
I love it. I love it. It's really, really inspiring. And, yeah, no, and it is. You're absolutely right. It is people-centric. It is all about the people. And I think, you know, what is so important at the moment is for everybody. We've become so acutely aware of our environment. You know, we've all been at home for so long, and I think a new understanding of the impact that the design of that environment has on how we feel, and you know, the new branding, the new message really seems to feed into that. So yeah,
this is it. Listen, people are changing, design is changing with the age of the internet. Everything is not just local, it's global now. And listen, even as we said, even in the last 12, 18 months, homes have changed because we never needed to work on our home before, whereas we need to work on our home now. So the concept of a home office, unless you had spare rooms, was foreign, you know. Whereas now, if you were buying a house, and well, which room is my office? You know, you're going to have it, garden pods in the back garden and somewhere to work. So spaces are changing. People are looking at their kitchens maybe more than they would have been if they were in the office 40 hours a week. And like that, people's lives and people's homes, the requirements and the goalposts have changed.
Definitely. And I think that need for flexibility, Sean, as well, is, you know, we've come to realize our home needs to be flexible. The spaces need to be flexible. They need to adapt and change for some of us on a daily, on an hourly basis. And I think the new collection from Silestone really feeds into that a little bit, because it is so different in terms of its color, in terms of the finish, that it allows itself to be a little bit more flexible than just for a kitchen or, you know, where we're used to seeing it. So yeah, it's great.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a really welcome splash of colour, and I think it'll give designers and architects and even the homeowner more scope to be playful and creative with what they're designing.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, well, listen, Denise, thank you very much for your time today. It's been amazing to have you here and have your expert opinion on our new collection. Thank you very much for your time, and to everybody else tuning in, thank you very much for your time today. We hope you found it enjoyable. My pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me, Sean. It's been great. Thank you, Denise. Look forward to talking to you soon. Definitely. Thanks a lot. Okay, bye, guys. Bye, everybody. Bye, Denise. Bye-bye. Bye.